sure you can guess what is next, but I'll tell you anyway.
Taking the time to talk with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate
I'm Oliver from Metaljesus magazine, and we're here at Gefle Metal Festival with Paul from Cannibal.
What's up?
How are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you very much. We're anticipating a great show tonight.
So this is your second or third time playing in Sweden this year?
Well, technically, yeah. On this tour, we just played Malmo, Sweden yesterday, a club date. And then here we are for this festival. And I think we've played a couple of shows in Sweden earlier when we were back on a tour in February, March. So it's been a couple of shows this year so far, yeah.
And how's it going so far?
So far, so good, you know. Great shows. It's been a great response from the fans, and, you know, we're having a great time, so.
And you're still supporting actually your latest album, Red Before Black.
Yes, because it's only been out since November, you know, and technically this is really only the third tour that we've done for it. We did the tour in the United States back in November when the album came out. You take your break for the holidays, and then we came over for Europe in February, March, and then actually here we are again. It's kind of strange for us to come back to Europe right after we just did a European tour, but we're playing, of course, all these bigger festivals, some different markets that we didn't play on that last tour. So so this is only the third tour, really. We have a lot of touring to do for Red Before Black, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you were to look back into your career of all these years as Cannibal Corpse, because you're indeed one of the, I think it's not, I say the biggest band still around with the death metal scene.
Yeah, it's pretty.
How would you compare it, like the scene today compared to the old days?
Yeah, I mean it's bigger, of course. You know, the old days are it's all starting out. It's all new. You know, death metal's a new thing when we're starting.
Yeah.
You know, when we're kids playing music and we're helping create a genre, you know, like what's going on here? We're products of thrash metal, you know, and then all of a sudden we're morphing into sort of, what is this? It turns into death metal, and we're in the beginnings of it with a lot of other bands, of course, but yes, fast forward 30 years, now it's, you know, people know what death metal is. You know, they didn't back then. It's so underground, you know. It wasn't for your mom or your dad or your family or anyone else. It's now, oh, of course I know what death metal is. I don't like it, but I know, oh, Cannibal Corpse, sure, I've heard that name. We've been around for 30 years. So it's a good thing that the music has gotten bigger over time, and I think it's just a matter of people accepting it, you know, right. It's not going anywhere, and here we are, and we're playing some big festivals, death metal, black metal. It's huge, you know. Who would have thought that maybe 30 years ago?
Exactly.
But right, here we are. I think it's as strong as ever, and it's just more widespread. So that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look back at this, like a lot of people these days talk about how the music scene has changed so much with record sales are going down, and well, especially in the industry side, a lot of people saying like vinyls are coming back. How do you feel about that? Like, I mean, Cannibal is one that vinyl sells like million albums.
Well, I mean, I think it's weird for us. I mean, just like trends and how things have gone. Here we are, 30 years, doing better than we ever have. So what has it affected us, really, you know, in the whole era of, oh, CDs aren't selling anymore, but yet we sell more than we did 5 years ago or something. So it seems like it really doesn't, these trends don't pertain to us too much, you know. So yeah, a lot of things have changed, but to me, I really don't think about it. You know what we think about? Cannibal Corpse, making Cannibal Corpse music. That's all we think about, you know, and if we're going to do that, then everything's going to fall into place. I really, truly believe that. And here we are, like I said, 30 years later, 14 albums in, arguably our best album we ever wrote, and, you know, here we are playing in front of a lot of people and touring the world. So, you know, albums are selling, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, to us, it's, you know, we don't think about all those exterior things. It's just what we do. We think about what we do and how we can better ourselves as musicians and as a band, and let everything else fall into place, I guess. So.
Yeah. And how do you think about when you look back at your career? What is your favorite moment?
All of them. You know, I mean, the most special moments, and maybe they're not the favorite, maybe they're the most special. Of course, everything that happened in the early days, in the very beginning. Wow, I'm making a CD. I'm signed to a label. Wow, this is a dream come true. Well, we're coming to Europe for the first time. How can all those firsts, of course, are so special. You know, because that's the first time. You're never going to feel that again, you know, as for the first times. So, and then you look at at our whole career, we've had a great career. We've been fortunate to play the world, go everywhere, go to India, play. I mean, it's unbelievable. So you just got to look at the whole career as a whole and go, wow, this is incredible. Look what we did. We would have never dreamed of any of this, So I'd say all of it is just, a remarkable, experience that we can look back and cherish every moment of it,
And your album came out on Metal Blade, and you've been quite lasting with them.
Our whole career, yeah.
How did that sort of happen in the beginning, Because Metal Blade was just starting up, I understand.
Well, I mean, that was the only label that gave us interest back when we started. We make a demo tape, and you sell it to some, send it away to labels, of course. And the only interest we had at that time was for Metal Blade. So what do? Your kids, wanting to get in the door. You want to make a record. Are you signing the best contract? Of course not. You just want a contract. So hey, this is it. We either take it now or do we wait? Well, you don't want to wait. You're just a young, fresh band. Oh no, we don't want to wait. So let's sign that contract. And then ever since, we've been there with them ever since. It became more of a personal relationship. We know Brian Slagle, of course, very well. Mike Faley, Tracy Vera. The core people that have been there since the beginning. They're our friends now, and it's a business relation as well, but it's a big friendship.
Yeah,
it's
like
a family.
A big family.
Right. So and that's why we stayed with them the whole time. We were always allotted creative control. Brian pushed our band. He was behind us. It wasn't just signing us. No. Oh, get a band on the label that can make me money, right? No, he loved the band. So when you have that backing, that's a great feeling to have.
Definitely.
So we felt like, well, why go anywhere else? Why? If it's not broke, why fix it?
Exactly.
And that's why we've been with them ever since. So
that makes sense.
Yep.
And what is your favorite track of the album?
That's a tough one too. I really, truly believe this is our best album we ever wrote, and I have so much fun playing all the songs, and we had so much fun creating these songs, and we worked extra hard, more harder than we ever worked. And we always worked hard, but for some reason you just want to always push it a little bit farther, I guess. And that's what I did in particular, myself personally. And man, I love the whole new record. Like playing Red Before Black, the song Red Before Black. So much, I think it turned out great and so much fun to play live. Code of the Slashers, another fun one to play. Firestorm Vengeance is a great one. I mean, I'll end up rattling off the whole album, and because it's a good thing to have, when you can sit and go, wow, I love all these songs, and not maybe go, oh well, you know what I'm saying. So right, but I think it's a great album that we produced here.
And when it comes to touring, how do you manage, both family life and everything else by side of touring? Because obviously, when you're touring for an album cycle, you're gone for almost 2 years.
Well, we're never gone in one length of time that long. If somebody said you're going to be away from home for 2 years, I'd quit today. I'd tell you, I think we'd all quit today, because you know what? We've been around 30 years. The longest we've ever been gone from home in one given time was 2.5 months, and that only happened like twice. So right, what you do is you mix it up. If you're home for a year or so writing an album, so you're home for a while. That's pretty cool to be home that long. And then okay, now we got to get on the road. All right, well, hey, you got to, in your back of your mind already. This is what we've been doing. This is what I've been doing before I had a child and before I was married. Any of us, right? So we already know how to kind of work it a little bit. Do we want to leave? Do I want to leave my daughter? No, of course not. I never want to leave her. It breaks my heart ever having to leave one day from her. But this is my profession. This is my job. This is what I'm bringing. The money home, so we have a house and food. So in that way, you have to weigh it out. But like I'm saying, right, we're here for 6 weeks on this tour. It's a long tour. 6 weeks is long to be gone. That's about our limit. After about 6 weeks, I think we're getting antsy, and we just need to be away from each other in general, off of a bus, just get the batteries recharged. Exactly. Go home, see family. Even if it's only maybe a month, and then you're out another month. That's how we do it. So we'll be gone a month, gone out for a month, gone for a month and a half, home for 3 weeks, gone for a month, home for 2 months. So hey, if we can work it that way, that's okay. That's the way we've been doing it our whole career, and I think that will work for us.
And it doesn't feel that long either, then, I suppose.
Exactly. Even though you go, wow, the whole cycle ends up being like 2 years. But right, we're not out for 2 years. We're home. We're going home. That's important.
And what's the worst experience that usually happens on tour? What do you think?
Well, there's some different ones, but probably the one for me personally is back in New York. It was probably '94. Playing in Holland on a show. It was still the old band back in '94, and I got actually a sort of a little mini riot happened after the show. There was some hoodlums walking through 2 in the morning, like in Dutch drunk guys, and they started with a couple of the guys in our entourage, and it was us and a few bands. Anyways, I remember just like going out watching. There's like somebody said, "Hey, there's a fight outside the bus." And what? 2 o'clock? Look, and there's a fight going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing I know it, I'm feeling something on my side.
Yeah.
I got stabbed. I got stabbed with a key. Like somebody keyed me, I guess. This guy. I'm like, oh man, I thought, oh, I'm dead. Blood's coming down. I'm gonna fall over, and I'm like, okay, I'm not. So they walked me into the club, but I ended up going to the hospital. They took me in an ambulance to the hospital because I ended up having a little hole right here, and luckily it was superficial, right on the. But it wasn't like a knife. I'm thinking if I would have got stabbed with a knife, I'm dead. So that was scary, a very scary thing. And I remember it was only the second show of the tour, and I got this hole in my side now, and I'm like, oh, just trying to go into my bunk to sleep was like But I remember, was able to play every show fine and all that. But it was a very scary moment because I remember I wasn't even doing anything. I'm just a bystander looking, like and then here you go, I'm almost dead. So that was a little scary. That's probably one of my worst tour experiences, I guess.
That's definitely crazy. But what's your favorite country to play?
That's another hard one too. I mean, we've played so many great ones. I mean, it's great just playing anything new. I think these days, when you're going to play somewhere that you never played before, and the fans are like, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting 30 years, 20 years for your band, and here you are, finally, my country." I mean, we got great fans throughout the whole world. I would think the most rabid fans, a lot of them are in South America. Mexico. We've had some really amazing shows throughout the world, but for some reason, Mexico, Brazil, they just they go insane. They go insane. They'll pull their hair out. They'll just punch walls. I mean, they're just intense people down there. And the music really seems to make them just more like So we have some pretty crazy shows, but it's great playing like a place like India where we'd never thought we'd have been. And then yes, we go there and the Indian fans are like, "Oh my, here we are," and here we are. Who would ever thought we'd be here? When we started, never thought we'd be hitting some countries, that just we didn't even think metal maybe was even existing in places, like that. So it's amazing to be able to go to Japan and go out throughout the world in Asia playing, wow, we played Taiwan and China. Like what the heck? Here we are in China. That's amazing. So it's just hey, if we're traveling the world, we get everywhere, and the fans are there. It's amazing and very special. So we're fortunate for that.
And regarding touring, again, coming back a bit to that subject, because a lot of people are always wondering, especially for new and upcoming bands, what would be your best advice in terms of staying healthy on tour and managing?
Oh, well, I mean, you just got to do the basics, really. I think it just comes down to the common sense, the basic rules of life, you got to get good sleep, you really try to hydrate yourself, everything in moderation, you learn those maybe things when you're older. I don't know, I guess I didn't live that way when I was younger, you feel invincible and you can do whatever, but the older I got, I'm like, well, hey, I'm not 18 anymore. I'm not 20 years old anymore. Am I going to be able to do what I do up there when I'm this age, Well, how I'm going to be able to do that? By trying to do the right thing, right? Like I said, just get good sleep, hydrate, make sure you eat well and all those kinds of things, just practicing, I mean, just the basics, that you need to survive in life, as a human being, I think. So, so that's helped me out in the road, that's for sure, otherwise I think if I didn't follow those rules, maybe it'd be harder for me to be out here at this point in my life, so.
And regarding European tours and festivals, you guys play almost all over the world, and you played probably almost every festival that's even able to mention these days. But when you're looking back at the European festival versus the US festival, I read some interviews with you a couple of months ago, I think it was, or actually even longer, but you mentioned that some US festivals are struggling a bit more with the whole breaking through, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different. They don't do it the same way they do it over in Europe. You don't have as many of those weekend festivals. There's a few, but not really in the heavy metal sense. I mean, our big festivals in the States, when you look at them in the summer, the weekend ones are kind of, you got some heavy bands in there, but it's not like it's a big giant death metal festival or just a complete heavy metal festival. So, we had, of course, the Mayhem Ozfest, which were the rolling ones, that are playing in a different city every day. So it would be cool if they incorporate, if we had some bigger festivals. I mean, I know Knotfest is trying to do one, the weekend thing. So they're just not like it is over here, though. So I know it seems like Europe's got the weekend festival down, the whole thing with the camping and everybody, they got it down here as to where it just doesn't seem to, and I don't know if people aren't into it as much or whatever, or who knows. But yeah, the festivals here are awesome compared to probably anywhere else in the world, I would say.
And you're playing tonight at the Goat stage. What can we expect tonight?
Well, just the Cannibal Corpse, we do our thing. We just go up and play our songs and just do the best we can every night, Nothing special, nothing crazy. It's not like we're going to go, oh yeah, we got this light show, pyro. If you know our band, we don't do any of that. We go up and we got our banner behind us and we play our songs, And it's not about a visual show, so to say. It's about, a sonic show. You're going to see us up there doing our thing, and you're going to hear our music, and that's it. So, that's what we give to the fans.
And when you're thinking back, on all these things, this year, and every record, and each record is like a new thing, era, what would you say was the difference between A Skeleton of the Maine and Red Before Black, both musically and lyrically?
Not too much difference. I mean, I think it was just a progression, basically. It's crazy how things go. You're allotted the way we work. You're allotted a certain time to create, and then get your songs together, record, and you record, put them out. And we've been consistent in that way. We never sit around going, oh, we need 5 years to write a record or whatever. We know we can write a record in 6 to 8 months. That's what we've been doing our whole career. So it's just a different time, right? Why is it different from Skeletal Maine? Well, you got a few years, you got 2 years in between. We're different people, even though you're the same. So you can't pinpoint it. All right, well, why did we come up with this riff now and then we didn't do it then? And who knows? So it's just the way it goes. I think you just try your best every time, and we give it our all. And sometimes maybe some songs are gelling more than others and are more accepted. Who knows? But I really think we just constantly come into our own a little bit more. You get a little bit better at songwriting, a little bit better at your instrument, a little bit more just experience, which maybe help. Lyrics, it's just going to come. Same thing. We're always going to be writing dark subjects, so it's just a matter of maybe one song will be a little bit more intense than the other, or what have you. But it's just a different era, right? Why am I going to feel? I can't say, but right. We're going to end up doing this exactly in the near future. A couple of years, we're going to start writing, record, and why is it going to be different than Red Before Black? If anything, we're just going to try to do the best we can. Like we always do, and see what happens. And we know it's going to be Cannibal Corpse, so we just got to, it's up for the fans then, to see what they say about it. But yeah, I think if for some reason everything just seemed to really gel with Red Before Black, and not that it didn't with Skeletal Maine, because I think it's a great record, But yeah, we just a little bit slightly different views or different ideas, and I don't know why exactly. Why did this one become a little more thrashy sounding? And I think it was just a natural experience, a natural progression. We're all products of thrash. We're all older. We all grew up with that. And then you look at early Cannibal. Early Cannibal is pretty much thrash. So it's kind of like I look at it's a mix of all Cannibal. And taking our influence from the very beginning and making it a little more modern. This is what Cannibal is now. So yeah, it's crazy how that all goes. It's hard to explain a lot of it though.
And your new album was actually produced by Eric Rutan, who is a long-time known name actually inside the Cannibal area.
Yeah.
How did that sort of come about?
Yeah, we just wanted to work closer to home. Mark did a great job with Skeletal Domain, and Mark wasn't in Florida anymore. He was in Tennessee, and we were we just want to be home. We felt being home recording, and basically Mana Studio is in our backyard in Florida. An hour drive and I'm in the studio, and I was able to stay home every day and drive to that studio and come back, and I thought that was very important, to have that routine, just keep in the routine. Yeah, I drive to practice room, drive to the practice facility every day for months, every day. Well, the one day I'm not driving to the practice facility, I'm driving an extra 20 minutes to the studio. So it almost had that same vibe, and I felt to me, that vibe was very important in having the focus on the record, you know. So I don't know, it was, and Eric, of course, did a great job on the records he did. So we just felt like, well, we know he's going to do another great job. So hey, if we got the material and we know what to do as a band, and we know what to get our sounds we want, then you know we almost look like we can probably record with anybody. But we felt Eric, of course, is a great producer, and you know we'll give him the shot again, and it turned out great. So we're happy.
Yeah. And what can we expect for the future for Cannibal? Any new tours coming up?
Well, we got this one doing, of course. We'll be touring again in the States at the end of the year. Like I said, we got a lot of touring. Of course, none of it's a lot of it's not even booked yet, and there's a couple I can't even mention yet. But yeah, we got a lot. You know, like I said, this is only the third tour, and 2 in Europe and 1 in the States. So of course we're going to hit all over the world. You know, it's just a matter of when. So really, it's going to be a lot of touring. I'm sure we'll be touring well into 2019 even. You know, I mean, I could see most of next year. You know, this year is of course all booked. Next year will be half of it booked. And right, so at some point, right, we'll have to be done with it, and then just do it all again, right? Start getting new material again, get a new record out. So it'll happen eventually.
And musically speaking, though, your daughter, has she picked up an instrument yet?
No, she tried. We had her playing some piano for a little bit. She took some lessons, and she's not much of a music person. She loves music. She loves to listen to music. She doesn't seem to really want to play music. We had her taking guitar lessons actually. It was about a year ago, and she just she's into art. She loves to draw. She's going to be a really good artist actually. She'll probably end up drawing a Cannibal Corpse cover. That's what it'll be. But yeah, she doesn't seem to really want to play music right now. And maybe she's still too young. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she's just not in her. Yeah. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever she wants to do. Whatever she wants to do, I could care less. Well, I mean, not care less, but if she's not into music, I could care less. Right? We do whatever you want. I'll be there 100% supporting. Because she's her own individual, and. I'm sure my parents were like, how the hell did I end up with, how did I end up, with a son that wants to play crazy music and drums in a band, because I didn't come from a major musical background, really. My dad wasn't playing instruments, my mom wasn't, but they liked music like everybody is, so you never know, right? So, but yeah, it's funny how that goes.
Yeah, what do your parents think of your band?
Oh, they love it. I love it. My dad's out here right now on tour with us. Yep, he's with us for this whole 6-week run. He's been following, big supporter of the band for a long time. Been to many shows, been to many tours, been on tour a few times. So it's great to have the support of our family.
Yeah,
we've had that from all our families. They're very happy, and that we're doing something being successful, and they're proud of us. That's for sure. They may not be into the music, but they're proud of us. But like I said, my dad does like the music, so it took him a little while.
And what will probably be your favorite album that has come out in 2018 of all the bands?
Only one, Greta Van Fleet, the EP from Greta Van Fleet. The band, they're like a very Led Zeppelin sounding young kids from Michigan. I don't listen to a lot of I just don't listen to a lot of, I mean, if I'm listening to metal these days, right, I had this question comes up a lot, like somebody, I was supposed to give my top 10 albums of 2017. I'm like, I have none, because I don't listen to music that's new. I listen to old music, and so I don't even know. But this band, Greta Van Fleet, is incredible, and I love them so much, and they're a very Led Zeppelin-y kind of 70s rock band. That's my passion. So that's all I can say, because that's the only band I really know, that's a new band that put music out. So.
Are you looking forward to tonight's show?
Yeah, it'll be a great time. It'll be a great show. We're looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. It was a real pleasure.
Well, thank you for the interview. I appreciate it. So thank you.
Cool.